Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the High Ticket Coaching and Consultant Strategy and Growth Show. Now, if you're watching this interview anywhere else but within our private Facebook community called High Ticket Client Attraction Insider Circle, then definitely come check us out. We'd definitely love to have you. That group was put together specifically for coaches and consultants who are serious about getting up to that 6 and that 7-figure level. So if that's you, definitely come check us out. So today I want to introduce you to one of the members of our community, Shaniese Taylor. Welcome, Shaniese.
Thank you. Well, Extus, thank you.
Awesome.
And hi, everybody.
Awesome. So Shaniese, tell the community what it is that you do.
Okay, so I wear many hats, author, speaker, educator, but I am mainly, that's my heart, that's my baby. I'm mainly a holistic coach and consultant. And yeah, that's really my passion.
Yeah. So what got you going down the path of becoming a holistic coach?
Okay, so from I was young, I was obsessed with counseling people. So from a tender age, I would be obsessed, as I said, with how people were doing. And it wasn't just, okay, are they all right mentally? I wanted to know, are you feeling well in your body? Is your spirit feeling good? Are you feeling free? Are you functional at every level? And this was so evident from I was a child. And then it just kind of stuck with me before I even asked you, before I could ask you, hey, where did you go last night? It's, hey, are you okay? And I stick around to hear the answer. So that really spoke to me that, hey, you really love the full development of people. And also my own personal challenges. I realize that if you're not fully functional, you are not going to be able to make a genuine impact in the world.
Yeah. Awesome. Now, what's your background? What did you do before you started your business? I know you said you spoke and did all these things as well. So what's that background?
Okay, so I'm an educator mainly. That was what I started with. I wanted to be a psychologist. That didn't work out, so I went into teaching. And I realized that, hey, I actually love molding lives. And if I could get them from a tender age, then can you imagine the type of grown-up they will become? And so that's what I do before coming into holistic coaching. So I'm an educator, I'm an author, speaker. I am the founder and director of a suicide prevention group called Will to Live Jamaica Foundation. So everything that I do, it kind of tied in with the full development of people.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, what about, so you said you're an author. What book have you written? What's the name of your book?
So the first one is How to Outlive Your Enemies. The next one is When Troubles Come, Trust Me, They Will. And the third one is called The Power of Why.
Goodness, 3 books. What's your which is the most recent one? Which is the most recent one? The Power of Why?
Yes, but then there's another 2 in the pipeline, so those would be a little bit more recent, but they're not published just yet.
Awesome, love it. How many do you have? How many are you planning to write?
I'm stopping at maybe 7. I'm thinking about going up to about 7 or 8.
Yeah. Now with the books, is it pretty easy to write for you? Do you have a challenging time? I take it that it's pretty easy, right?
It is easy for me because I write from a place of experience, and so it flows easily. I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty easy for me to write a book because they're all coming from somewhere deep within, and whenever I can relate to something, I find that I'm more effective in how I impart.
Yeah. And what about the speaking side of things as well too? What topics do you typically speak about?
My topics would be mindset reset, faith that works, and passion coming from pain, struggling with integrity. So things like that I am passionate about. So when I get into speaking on it, and again, it's all because I have experienced what I'm talking about.
Yeah, good. And with the holistic side of things, well, I guess, how do you define holistic coaching? What's your definition of it?
All right. So for me, it has to be that this is when you are functioning or you are maximizing your full potential. So in your mind, in your body, in your spirit, in your emotions, your profession, your behavior, are you functional at your highest level? Are you creating? Are you at peace? Are you happy? And that for me is holistic development. This is the highest point that a human can become when they are functioning at their highest. No excuses, no second guessing. You are functioning at your highest level.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, good, good. What about, how do you consume information? Are you a reader? Do you listen to podcasts? What do you just do interviews? How do you do it?
Okay, well, I'm a reader
Mm-hmm.
and I listen to a lot of well, a few podcasts here and there, but a lot of interviews. And I love motivational speaking, and not just to listen to become motivated, but I listen for inspiration. There must be some sort of call to action, some sort of change agent within that speaker's layout for me to, grab it and say, okay, this is what I like. Because motivation will fade. It will over time wane out, and it's not always permanent. But then when someone is inspired, that's the kind of speaker I like to listen to.
Love it. And a question I like to ask as well too is in terms of because I know as we go through, whether it's daily, weekly, we always have these big insights as entrepreneurs. So
Yeah.
have you had any big insights over the past few maybe days or weeks that you were like, man, if I'd love to share this with someone that they could get some pretty good value from it.
Okay. So for me, running a business, something that you're doing on your own, one of my biggest insight is that you have to be consistent. You have to be consistent. You have to work for what you want. And I'm not saying there's a badge of honor in always struggling and just being broken, but you have to put the work in. You have to be consistent. The biggest thing for me as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, is implementation. Whatever you learn, whatever you heard, whatever Extus's program taught you, whatever Les Brown taught you, if you don't implement, it's not going to work for you.
Yeah, yeah, that's so powerful as well too. Because I know it's a lot of people who try to whether it's get started in business and do
Oh yeah.
anything. It's like they start and they say, "I'll try this out for a week," and then if it doesn't work, I'll take
Yes.
the next thing or whatever. Versus not realizing that the key to all of it, the key to that success that we all want, is
Yes.
consistency, right?
Yeah. It's to
Yeah,
implement.
awesome, awesome. And I love what you said as far as I think that's a lesson I learned from my mentor as well too. Like speed, they call like speed of implementation. I
Yes.
realized when I was first getting started on my own journey, it was like I was the person who just consumed just to consume.
Yeah.
Versus today, I think about who I was back then versus who I am today. It's one of those places where I more consume information that I could actually do something with because at the end of the day, action is really what changes everything, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Awesome. Because we can be so aware, Extus. We're right now in this day and age, we have so much information. We're privy to a lot of things. There's so many DIY courses. Everybody is taking information. But the receiver, are you implementing? What are you doing? What are you doing when okay, I know this, I know this. Oh, I know that already. But are you taking action? And that's when you're going to see things work and change in your life.
Yeah. Powerful stuff. So, what's one skill you'd say you've kind of developed that you believe has been responsible for your success?
Okay, so one skill is, or I think I have two. Two of my biggest takeaways are, number one, I am more intentional about who I have around me. And I know how to listen actively. So before, I maybe back in the day, I want to be a counselor, but then do you have the skill to actively listen? And so with that, I realized that that does not include me presenting my feelings, my emotions to the table. I've learned how to box my emotions, box it away whenever I'm dealing with a client, whenever I'm dealing with anyone. Put your feelings aside and actively listen. Go along the journey with people, and you'll be more effective. Because most times we try to push our feelings. Oh, you know, I feel this way. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, this shouldn't have happened. But just put yourself aside for a minute, actively go with the person, and things will be better.
Hmm.
And that's something that I hold very dear, to actively listen and to learn how to not put your judgments or your emotions to the table when you're dealing with people.
Yeah, yeah. Cool. And one thing I heard you say as well too is surround myself with the right people. I
Right.
think that's so powerful, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the place where I'm at in my life right now, because when I was first getting started, I was trying to figure out how do you create success. That was all my thing. Like, what's the
Mm-hmm.
technique? What's the one thing? What's the thing I could just do that's going to just take care of success for me? And I tried so
Oh,
many different techniques and just didn't really seem to add up. But I think that the
yeah.
best one I found is that if you want to change, whether it's your life, your business,
Oh,
any
yeah.
aspect of your life, just find a way to always be meeting new people and then
Yes.
pick and choose who you decide to actually develop those long-term relationships with. Because when I think about all of my success today, it wasn't really because I worked any harder or did any more. It was
Thank you.
on
Mm-hmm.
getting connected to the right people, and based
Yes.
on that, these opportunities just showed up, right?
Yes. And the other one that really jumps out at me is questioning.
Mm-hmm.
It's so funny because as coaches, as consultants, as counselors, we like to talk. Sometimes we just talk a lot, and then we forget, or I used to forget, that questioning, don't take anything for granted. So if your client or someone you're talking to says something, follow up with another question. And I've become really, really good at that. So I take nothing for granted. Oh, I want to be happy. What does happiness look like for you? It's just so powerful, because at the end of the day, it's not about us. It's about them becoming better and whole. And it's, if you don't question, and if I don't question my clients, then follow up. And I've really grabbed that as a major skill in my life. Never take anything for granted. Ask, what do you mean by that? So
Mm-hmm.
that's another skill that I've grabbed.
Yeah, love it. Now, what would you say is your why behind what it is that you do?
My biggest why is that I know this is my purpose. I know this is my purpose. And how I know that this is my purpose, Extus, not only because I've been doing this from a child, but I normally ask myself, and psychologists teaches this, what do you do that makes time stop? And if you can answer that question, you know you're walking in your purpose. And what I do that makes time stop, and I couldn't care less about money or what's happening around me, is talking to people, counseling people, and being a part of their solution. And the other big why is that not only am I walking in my purpose, and I'm convinced this is my purpose, is that my experiences, I've been through a lot, and I did not know how to position myself to see the value of what I was going through. I didn't know. I didn't know how to get over feelings of overwhelm, frustration, anxiety. I just didn't know. But yet still there was a leader in me that wanted to come out. And through life's pain, after overcoming them, I say, listen, I'm not dying full. I'm dying empty. And I'm going to show the world and teach the world how to overcome as well. Because I can't impact people and be genuine and effective if I didn't overcome it myself. And so I had to heal from within, and then I can now effectively impact the world. And those are my two biggest whys.
Yeah, love it, love it. And what's one habit you'd say that if someone practiced, that would lead to the success? 'Cause I know if success is one of those places where
Yeah.
I like the saying that Warren Buffett, he said it best, right? He said the change of habits are too light to be felt until they're too heavy to be broken, right? So
Yes.
well, that teaches me that with success, you got to figure out what the right habits, you got to have the right habits. So in your opinion, what would you say is one good habit that if someone had that could be the catalyst for that success thereafter?
Okay. So again, I love myth busting, and that's a habit that I've developed. Whenever there's a little bit of doubt or a lie seeded, or you're not going to know as yet that it was a lie that was seeded, but whenever you have some sort of hesitation, overthinking, second guessing going on, whenever I have that in my head, I love to bust that myth. So I go to the root and I reframe my stories a lot. I heal my stories a lot. So whenever there's something that's, oh, you can't do this, you can't achieve this. Oh, really? It's my job. I've realized that it's my job to tell that part of me or that inner critic to keep it down. Thank you for what you've been doing. You've been protecting me all this time. You've kept me safe. But I'll bust a myth every day. Go to the root, reframe that story. Oh, yes, I can. Why am I afraid? Is it that I'm afraid of being embarrassed? What's the problem? Why am I afraid to step out? And with reframing my stories, I realized that, hey, walk in your truth. Walk in your truth. And that's when your higher self starts to, manifest, and that ego, that part of you that's so concerned with the things of the world and the things that are happening around you. It starts to quiet down. It starts to quiet down.
Yeah, love it, Shaniese. Hey, well,
Thank you.
yeah, well, in that case, thank you so much. Now, if someone wanted to reach out to you, what's the best way for them to be able to connect?
Okay, so for me, it's mainly my email and Facebook. So my email address is Laylor-Bogle@gmail.com, and my Facebook name and all my other groups and services will be attached to that main name. That main page is Shaniese Laylor-Bogle. So Shaniese Laylor-Bogle on Facebook, and every other information will pop up from that end. So Instagram info, email information, and the private group, all of that will connect and pop up from that.
What's the name of your private group?
It's called Mind, Body, Spirit Accelerate, and it's a coaching system for service-based providers, because they're my main focus. They're who I help.
Yeah, love it.
Can't effect change if you're not changed.
Yeah. Okay, good. And guys, all the links that Shaniese just mentioned here, they will be either above or below the video, so you can click on them and you'll be able to get connected right to her. Awesome, Shaniese. Well, hey, thank you so much for making the time.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I really appreciate it. Do you have any final thoughts before we end?
Yes, guys, you are your biggest business. Take care of you first. Awesome. That's all I have to say. Take care of you first.
Love it. Well, hey, thanks again for stopping by. Thanks for sharing, and we'll talk soon.
That's fine. All right. Thank you so much, Extus. Bye-bye.